Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Welcome back, you guys. It's the Fake Ass Book Club, and it's your friend Moni.
Hey, friend Moni. This is Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Hey, Moni.
What up?
You know, I'm just over here luxuriating in all my privilege and taking a lot of pleasure in it.
Oh my gosh. Well, cheers to that.
Yeah. How about you?
It's the good life over this way. I'm not tired. I don't have bags. Everything's great. I can't complain.
Okay.
I actually cannot complain. It's been a full weekend, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes, lots of abundance.
Yes, this is what abundance looks like.
It is.
Do you know that I think about that all the time, friend?
What?
That this is what abundance looks like. Like your voice. There's a couple of times where I have to be like, what would WWKD?
I'm living rent free up there.
But it's in a good way though.
Ba.
Yeah, it's being gentle to my hair when I'm combing it roughly.
Yes. Or to yourself.
Or myself.
You deserve gentleness.
I do.
Yeah.
And also when I am, things, when there's so many things going on, it is easy to get overwhelmed. And I always say to myself, this is what abundance looks like. It's real life.
There's no other way to have it.
There's no other way to have it. And so I just try to keep that in mind when I'm feeling overwhelmed.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so thank you for that little gem.
You're welcome.
You guys feel free to use that if you need it. But it is something that's good to keep in mind because I do feel like it's helpful. So full disclosure, this is a fake ass episode, guys. So welcome. This is gonna be fun. I have no idea where we're even going with it.
We're gonna
take you on a little ride.
We're gonna do this though, because we have
we are.
never let being unprepared stop us.
It's not even unprepared because honestly, we always say that showing up is like more than half the battle.
I say
most
80%.
of the time. So we're already
That's
80%
like school
there.
too. Like we were talking about the children earlier, and my son, he's in his junior year of college, and he was like, "Yeah, so much of it's just showing up,
Yeah,
and then doing the work, and not being like ashamed of your work." I think it's really hard being a student because your work isn't where you want it to be. Like your goal is to, become an expert at something, and you're not an expert yet. So you know what you want, but getting it out is so hard. So, yeah,
it is. And so, yeah, I think that that's a really good place to start. So where do you want to go with this? What should we even,
I think we should dedicate the episode.
Let's dedicate this episode. You guys, hands over your hearts. Welcome back, guys, to another fantastic episode of the Fake Ass Book Club. Thanks for being here. We want to dedicate this episode to all of you, especially our patrons, you guys. First of all, I wish there was a hand signal. I don't have one. Oh, boom.
We could do
It's the boom. That's for you guys. That's a heart. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys for supporting us. Also, you know what? I want to dedicate this to our friends, though, because we have talked about our 100th episode coming up in a couple of weeks. And they really, like all of the people that I love and admire that I consider actual friends on some level or another, really inspired this creative endeavor. So thank you for that inspiration. Thank you for, showing up when we do stuff and just being the fabulous friend that you are. So shout out to you guys. You know who you are. What about you, friend?
Yes, and your dedication. Mine is going out today to Gabby's book drive. This is a young lady here locally who is collecting books for the Independence Academy, which is a nonprofit, state-accredited, innovative autism school serving grades 4 through 12. So it's running from March 15th through May 1st. Put all the information in the show notes if you want to send books to Gabby. So her goal right now, she has 350. She wants to get to 1,000, and I think we can definitely help her.
Oh, that's sweet. I like that.
I like it a lot too.
Oh my gosh, she's adorable.
She's also just really cute too.
First of all.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw out there too. If you know Black people selling Girl Scout cookies, hit them up, okay?
They're
Help them young beautiful ladies.
$6.
Hey, give them
I
that
guess
$6.
everything went up though.
The price
because we've
went
been
up.
talking about how the groceries went up. So I mean, everything went up. So, but it's very important to support young girls.
Yes, I love it.
Little cookie hustlers.
I know, you guys. Oh my God.
Have you ever? I remember selling cookies with my daughter. Oh, sorry, dedication was been over.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's done. So we haven't gotten there yet, but I remember actually doing it too, though.
Really? Okay. I never was a Girl Scout.
I was Girl Scout for a year.
Okay. How'd you like it?
It was cool. I was like the nerdy girl, apparently.
Oh.
I know. Yeah. So
Coolsies.
I had glasses at the time that I lied for, by the way.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? That's how big of a nerd I am. I don't know. I wanted red glasses, and
Like
I remember
Sally Jesse Raphael?
Yes, and y'all can Google her. Maybe I'll put her in the show
I had
notes.
red glasses around that period.
I just wanted red
but I
glasses.
had to. I had bad vision.
I didn't even need them, and I actually was like at the eye doctor and just kind of like failed on purpose so I can get glasses.
So did they give you headaches?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure it was I didn't lie like by a huge margin. It was like, is that a T or an
It's like 1 or 2. It'd be like 2.
You know what I mean? And so I got them. And then I learned that glasses are dumb and they get on your nerves after a while.
And they give you little breakouts. They collect a lot of oil.
It wasn't a vibe. Like, it's just the idea of it was
They're
more
easy
fantastic.
to break. I
Yeah.
sleep in mine a lot sometimes, so they get crooked. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
That's why
what
I
kind of a
got
dork do
contacts.
you have to be in real life to be like,
There's
I'm
all
going to
kind-
lie
there's all kind
on
of
my
dorks.
eye test so that I can wear glasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
get
my
your
daughter
life
was like that.
together.
She really wanted braces and glasses. She thought they were cute. I mean, they're cute on everything's cute on her
Until
though.
you get them, and then it's like, these are painfully
It's just
terrible.
another pain in the ass thing in your life.
It is. And you know
like
what?
everything becomes.
Just like everything. Okay, friend, listen, let's jump
All
into
right.
this episode, friend. So, what's the first topic we're going to sort of talk about today? I know you said you had excuse me, that was a...
Okay, so these are just the things that have been on my mind.
Yeah, what's going on there?
So the Academy Awards happened last Sunday.
Ooh.
And I was paying a little more attention than I do most years because this is the year after the Chris Rock Will Smith thing, and then Chris Rock had his special, and I was like, I'm like, but I don't think I'm gonna actually watch it this year, so I didn't. I was like, if there's any good points, they'll be highlighted on
everywhere.
Yeah, the next day, and they
Yeah.
were. And I wanted to give a side dedication to Michelle Yeoh. She's a favorite of mine ever since Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I love kung fu movies, and she is a kung fu movie star. And she was also in a lot of other movies I like, and she's in the Star Trek universe. And she's like a badass. She's just so inspirational, and she's the first Asian woman. She's the first Asian American woman, or is she even? No, she's not even Asian American. I think she's just straight up Asian. First Asian woman to win an Academy Award for Best Actress in a motion film.
Strong J.
And for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I haven't seen yet, but really, really, really want to.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see any of it. I haven't.
Of the Academy Award stuff?
No.
Did you, because they were also talking about Angela Bassett, like her face when she lost to Jamie Lee Curtis.
So how exactly? So, okay, before I jump to conclusions, let me guess. I love guessing. Okay. So she didn't win. So, my first thought is she wasn't happy about that.
Yes, that is correct.
Would that be correct? Okay. Because I'm just thinking like, hey, if I worked really hard for something and didn't win, I'd be a little disappointed.
Well, I mean, and for decades. Being overlooked for decades, not just this one moment, but for decades.
For actual decades.
Losing doesn't feel good, and especially...
So was she scowling? Like, what was the face?
No, she
that
gave
was
a
the
little
problem?
smile and play. It wasn't like she stormed off. She didn't act like Kanye or anything.
So then what is the problem? She's not allowed to have feelings. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
That are less than positive. It's like, I don't have to feel positively about this. I didn't throw up gang signs and spit when they said her name or anything. Like, I barely smiled or kind of smiled and kept it moving. Like, what's the problem?
I don't think there was anything to be upset about other than the fact that she didn't win. Like, to me, that was the more gross oversight. To be fair, though, I haven't seen Jamie Lee's performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
From what I've heard from people who have, though, even the other actress who was nominated from that category from that movie put in a better performance and was there more.
Ooh,
I don't know. And to me, it looked like Jamie Lee Curtis was surprised she won, too. Like,
really?
That's what it looked like to me. But you know what? They're all talented, beautiful women. The Academy Awards is just a bunch of self-congratulations anyway. Things where the actual fans vote, I think, means a little bit more. But I don't know.
Oh, well, and you know, it would have been nice to see her win that. And it's like, I hope people don't, like, my thing is this, is just because I'm not happy about losing doesn't mean I'm necessarily shitting on you because you won.
Yeah.
It doesn't subtract from Jamie Lee Curtis's, like, her catalog. Like, she's obviously, you know, she's been in all those she's pretty iconic. Scary movies. Like, we know who she is. We like her. She seems cool. But also, at the same time, I mean, like, I think all of the same things you could say on either side. Like, they've both been in it for a long time. They've both done, you know, an amazing job, had amazing careers. But again, like, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really say. But I mean, you know,
If I had to guess,
as far as her face goes, though, like, I just don't. Why are we policing this lady's face, though? Like, I mean, again, if she wasn't just downright throwing a temper tantrum, I don't understand what the hell the problem
one
is.
of my favorites, I know Friends has its issues or whatever, but it also had some really funny moments. And there was one where Joey was like supposed to be winning a soap opera award and he lost to somebody else and the camera was on him and he started cussing. Like,
right, it wasn't
he
that.
started going off, and like Rachel was behind him, being like, "Babe, you're on camera," and he was like,
See,
and then
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone's just being so
wasn't
fake.
that.
It's fine to be disappointed if you don't win, especially if maybe you should have.
Yeah,
and
that
it
part.
reminded me a lot of the black figure skater Sura Bonali, the French girl, and she refused a silver medal one time because they tried to play her. And
That was
she
iconic.
took
I
that.
remember
It
that.
was. And I remember her just the tears streaming down her face. And I remember feeling that too. Because it's like, yeah,
She was doing
y'all
backflips. It's like, what else do I got to do?
on one leg.
Yo, and I mean, I don't think I've seen anything like that since. That was in the 1900s.
That was 90. It was 1994 when she refused the medal for it. And it's just one of those things that people try to make you feel crazy for. And it's like, girl, you're not crazy. You're actually amazing.
Oh my God.
And I think that's lightweight. One of the reasons why I wanted to learn French.
Because of her?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because she didn't speak English.
Yeah.
So I was like,
She was French.
yeah, she was French. I was like, oh, she's all fly and black and French. I was like, that's dope.
Oh my gosh, she was so good. I remember that too.
Yeah.
Smacking.
So that was
So tell me her name one more time.
Surya Bonoli.
Like, I know what it's called.
SURYABONALY.
Oh, nice.
I know.
There
I
she
just
is.
typed in black.
Oh my God. First
French
of all,
skater.
the pictures that come up. This young lady and athlete.
I know you.
I was gonna say listen, this beautiful specimen of
Just imagine Serena Williams on skates.
yo.
Like if they had put her on
Shit.
skates instead of a tennis court.
Oh my God. Yeah, y'all gotta see this. She's
Yeah,
pretty
she was
amazing.
making everybody mad. Like,
Yeah.
that's the problem. And that's the thing, too, because I believe she had white parents. I want to say she was adopted.
Oh, okay.
And so this is
Oh,
also
bless it.
reminding me of all the media I want to consume and haven't had the time to.
Let's talk about that, friend, because I am behind on literally everything. So
Literally everything.
literally everything.
Oh my gosh. So this is actually, we should use this episode to decide what we're going to read next.
I like it.
Okay.
So should we do that first, or should we go to all of the stuff that you say that you've been missing out on, and then close it out with what we should read next?
Okay. So, what I've been missing out on I'm trying to think of what people would like to hear us talk about. Because usually what the feedback we've gotten is that people want to hear us kind of pan stuff. Or, I mean,
Oh my
and
God.
I get it.
Have you heard of Tubi before?
I have heard of Tubi. That's how I watch Jim and the Holograms.
So my niece is like,
You have a lot of nieces.
Naya. She was on the show. You guys know and love her. If you don't, go back and listen to the Alice Walker episode. She was only on part 1 of part 2 of that episode, but she was like, you guys need to find Tubi movies,
Okay.
watch them, and review them, because a lot of them are terrible, apparently.
Okay.
And she was like, it's so funny. Like she said her and her friend will just pick one and just like watch it and just crack up laughing because they're so bad.
Okay, well, we never
said,
did
well,
watch
you have to come on
Acrimony.
here.
We were supposed to watch Acrimony and talk about it.
Oh my God.
And I watched it.
So you did. And
I did.
So
It was very bad.
It was terrible.
It was not good
Is
at
that something you'd like to talk about?
I'm sorry. Her ovaries ruptured.
What? Wait. I'm sorry. That's
We probably need to watch that together. There used to be this show called The People's Couch where you watched people watch stuff and like make jokes
this is
about
when
it.
We need a production staff.
We do.
So that,
If you want to be our production staff for free, please reach out.
Actually, and it won't be for free because you'll be getting good practice.
You
There'll be snacks and food. I'll
and
make
if you
a
get
drink.
us paid, we'll give you some of the money.
Listen, percentages or whatever.
Whatever,
You know what I'm saying?
something.
Holla, 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 holla.
No, it was not good at all.
Okay, so Acrimony is one. I'm about to put this on the list. I'm making the list now
put
as
that
we
on
go.
the list.
So
It was just it just bugs me when people, if you're gonna use a medical condition, like just look up a medical condition that would actually make you infertile. Like getting hit by a car so many things will rupture before your ovaries.
please stop.
I'm sorry.
So you're telling me
What I'm telling you is the main character. So young Taraji P. Henson
got hit by a car and her ovaries ruptured?
and I feel like she had like light contacts. Was that an accurate memory? Anyway, yeah, she got like either in a car accident or something she was in got hit by a car. It was some percussion and a car.
Dear Lord, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away. Because I hate that so hard.
And so then her ovaries ruptured so she couldn't have kids. And I don't know if that led to her anger issues. Basically, she just had these anger issues, so she would just black out and like go off on her husband. I'm like, don't write these movies where I have to like
So I'm supposed to accept that she blacks out and goes off on her husband? Like, what you? So she just, it's like, here's this black woman, she's just fucking crazy. Like, that's the premise?
Yes, because that's why at the end it's so crazy. Because like, not only does he, because eventually they just divorce, but he like ends up paying her back. Because at first he was kind of like getting on his feet and stuff, and so she helped him to do that. But then they ended up breaking up. But once he got on his feet, he paid her back and then just moved on. And she was like, "No, you can't move on." And it was just.
Okay, y'all really gonna make me watch that?
I had to watch it. I mean, I gave you the breakdown. I'm sorry, spoilers for Acrimony.
I don't think you spoiled anything, friend.
It was just, that was just what stuck with me the most was that. And then here's the thing.
Oh my God.
I know for a lot of people, they do get their information from movies. Like, unfortunately, that's not great, but it's true. I think there needs to be, because I remember when I was watching Inglourious Bastards.
That was good.
That was a good movie. I love that movie, but I felt like they should have put a disclaimer that this is revisionist history. Like, this isn't how they killed Hitler. Like, I'm like, there's going to be people who think.
Like in the theater?
Yeah. Like, there's going to be people who think this is what happened.
Okay.
If you don't say that. Like,
Right. Which, just so everyone knows, maybe some fun music in the background for this. Just a little disclaimer. Here at the Fake Ass Book Club, we're just friends talking. This is not a medical program. We are not healthcare professionals, nor are we anyone that you should be listening to for real advice in your life. So listen at your
Unless
own
it's about
risk.
hair. I'm a hair expert.
Okay, she can
And
tell you
actually,
about that.
I always frame everything whenever I'm talking about something. It's like, I don't know. I do hair.
This is please don't use this platform as something. Don't point back, well, they had said.
Don't cite us.
No.
You're going to have to.
No. That's
find
not
a
getting
real
you anywhere
citation.
in the court of law.
Yeah. So if you're writing a script, look for 3 sources, 3 credible sources, really 5. But
Have
if you don't
extras.
have the time, 3. And Shade Room isn't a source. What else? Joe Rogan isn't a source.
No.
And I like Joe Rogan. I find him entertaining. He's not a source for medical information.
Yeah, you should probably just go with the people who studied it for a really long time, have degrees, and
The nerds.
Yeah, the nerds.
Oh, because this was the thing too. I feel like I've never been able to work this into like a regular show.
Let's go.
But a lot of like, I'm not gonna say a lot. Some of the celebrities we've lost have been to ignoring nerds. So Kobe. still alive today.
minute.
If they hadn't ignored the nerds.
I feel like you just said that about Kobe.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Aaliyah.
Maybe.
Oh, but I think we did that off mic.
Was that? Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah,
All right.
with Kobe or somebody else's show. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Kobe still alive today if they had listened to the aviation nerds, because it was a no-fly day. And I blame the captain or the helicopter pilot. Like, he was supposed to be like, hey, the reason they gave me this license is because
I'm the boss.
I'm supposed to
and I
say
know.
no in these instances. But
Yeah.
instead, and this happens a lot with celebrity, people have a different set of rules
Don't
when it
wanna
comes
say
to
no.
celebrity. And you want to be like, yeah, I flew, Kobe Bryant and his, like you can flex. Like up until the point where and I'm glad his wife got the money from suing the police department for taking pictures of them after they died. Because
Tacky.
people get crazy when it comes to celebrities. So, and same thing with Aaliyah. She would have still been alive
That's so sad.
if they had just followed the aviation nerds' advice, but they didn't.
Right. Wowzers. Yeah, I think nerds can, they get a bad rap, but also when it comes to stuff like that, like you want somebody who's highly specialized, because that's basically what that is. It's like I geek out for this one thing. I know damn near everything that there is to know about it, and so you need to listen to me when I'm telling you this, and not be blinded by somebody's status or whatever. And I will venture to say too that sometimes you probably interface with people who have a certain level of celebrity who don't want to listen because they feel like because they're A, B, and C. Like now science doesn't work. Now physics, the laws of physics don't apply. Bitch, I'm such and such. It's like, nah, actually, fam, don't let life show you just
No.
exactly how insignificant
What did the
you are
kids
in the larger
say?
scheme.
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck the chart. I love the chart. Boom. The fucking round. Boom. The intersection of fucking around and finding out is.
It's pretty great.
You don't want to be there when it happens. Okay.
I like
So
that. I know
avoid
people
that.
complain about kids today, but I think a lot of the kids today are on to a lot of stuff.
Listen, that's probably one of the best things the kids have done recently that I've enjoyed.
I like that a lot.
So is there anything else that you wanted to watch that you have
Oh,
not?
something bad?
I don't know, bad, good, and different. I don't know. You said there's all this media.
I actually would like to go back and watch some of the old, because we were supposed to be watching The Last Dragon.
Stop talking about this.
Okay, the other
No,
thing.
I'm just kidding. Though. It's so funny. Well, if we do it, we have to do it with my husband because that was one of his faves
That's
from
fair.
forever. Yeah.
And we can promote his. I would love to do that.
Yeah,
we
we
should
should do
do
that.
that for actually, because I want to do a series of paintings about Black men
he needs to be in
and
there. He needs to be black
fatherhood,
he's
and
a
I'd like
man.
to promote that with and
cute.
have him on there.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
adorable. You guys should see him.
Because everyone's always like, "Oh, there's no Black men in the homes." I'm like,
That's
I don't know
not
what homes y'all talking
true.
about.
Man,
I was tripping over Black men growing up.
they be everywhere.
Everywhere.
So yeah, I think that is good to put that narrative out there. All right, and then too, I wanted to rewatch. I know we've talked about this before too. Just the Boondocks. I want to rewatch.
It'll just be a love fest, though.
I know, but
Except the last season. I did not like the last season of Boondocks.
because the writer wasn't.
Yeah,
on
Aaron
there.
McGruger dropped
wasn't
out.
on there, so
I would actually love to read some Aaron McGruger stuff. Do people know that the Boondocks was based on a comic strip?
I don't know. Do y'all know that?
Do you guys know that? You can buy books. I have one at home. I think it's called The Right to Be Angry or something like that. And it was just a collection of, and they're beautifully drawn. Really? Yes, he's would you be surprised to know he's a gifted artist?
No, not at all.
Actually, and I might post one of my favorite of his comic strips, where he's talking to Jasmine, the little mixed girl.
Aw, she's adorable.
And they're sitting on a hill looking at the clouds go by. And she was like, she's like, I hate summer. She's like, my hair gets all big and it's just I can't control it. I just hate it. And he was like, I hate to interrupt you, but he was like, what do you think of the clouds? And she was like, I love the cloud. Oh, we're looking at little clouds right now.
I know we do.
She's like, I love the clouds. They're just so big and poofy. I just want to lay on them. And he was like, she was like, but why'd you interrupt me? You never listen to me. And he was like, neither do you. It was like, you don't take the time to see the beauty in yourself. And
oh, that's cute. That was in the book.
It was in a book.
Oh my god.
There's so much stuff in books. And that's the thing. A lot of times you have to dig around for a while, but I've found so many beautiful, beautiful gems in books. But back to stuff that
That's
we
what's
hate.
up. It's just so hard to talk about. It's
I just so disengage from things I hate. Because I think we were talking about that on another episode about just leaving movies.
It's like, I don't want to see this
Walking
no
out
more.
on movies?
Yes, but at the same time too, though, guys, if you have stuff that you feel like you'd love to hear us like make comments about or to critique or whatever, send those things, because in that way
Keep
it's
it
like,
coming.
okay, we have like some material to go through. Because I'm like, I mean, for me to purposely find something I hate to talk about, I feel like it's hard. Although, you know, I mean, the idea of hate watching stuff is fun though. So it's
Oh my gosh, I love hate watching stuff with my son.
Is it so? See,
First
I
off,
bet it's so good.
His laugh is so great. Like he
God.
has such a when he's really tickled, it's amazing. So I think we were watching a Vin Diesel movie, Triple X. That movie. So he's like
Peace
it's
to that
Vin
man.
Diesel playing a skateboarder. Like stunt man, like
This is a recent movie?
Spy. No, this was like
But how old
before
was he
Fast
when he
and
did this,
Furious.
though? Oh,
He
okay.
was still bald. Like he was
He was
old.
in his 30s.
Yeah, I feel like it was after Pitch Black. Pitch Black was really good. It was sci-fi
Was it?
and it was dope.
Okay.
No, let's see. I don't know. I can look it up, but I don't feel like it. But there's some scene where he like he's like in an airplane, I guess about to jump out, and like he ends up wrapping a cord around a bunch of like Air Force dudes and like ripping them out of the plane. And we're just looking at you. He's like, did he just kill all those soldiers? Like what
All
is
together
going
in
on?
one.
Like this is so weird. So yeah, I'm not against hate watching stuff. I'll totally do it.
We just need a list, guys. If you can help us come up with a hate watch list. I mean, like, obviously,
Keep it short though, like 3.
I don't think anybody's like knocking our door down or anything.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just don't
Top
go
3.
crazy. Top three. Top
Yeah.
3 bad movies you would like to see us kind of talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this one movie in high school I watched with John Travolta called The White Man's Burden. That was terrible.
What?
It was supposed to be like an inversion of like what if America was like racist towards white people instead of black people, but like they didn't do any of the research as to why things are racist towards black people.
White Man's Burden?
Yeah, I think I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
real.
hope it was just a bad dream and I just made that up. But
There's a poem, too?
the white man's burden is the whole thing. Like the white man's burden is this idea that
Oh, God.
the white man is in charge of civilizing the planet, and that's the white man's burden. So getting all you darkies to stop worshiping your little, voodoo gods and stuff like that and come into the warm
Is this a Christian
civilization.
thing?
Just because it's tied into colonialism in that way.
I've never heard of this.
You never heard of The White Man's Burden?
Harry Belafonte was in that?
Yes, he was. He
What?
played like the rich daddy. And
Desmond Nakano is an American screenwriter. That's who wrote this? Or
yeah, it
directed
was not good.
Oh my God.
I'm really upset. I forgot Harry Belafonte was in it. I'm surprised he agreed to be a part of it. It was bad.
Wait. Okay, yeah. See, now this came out in 1995. I'm not watching
I was about to
this.
say I watched it in high school.
I'm not watching this.
Okay.
I can tell you that
I don't think
right
you should
now.
have to do that to yourself.
Nope. But this, yeah, I can tell you right now, hated it.
Hated it.
Okay,
Oh my
without
God.
even
Oh,
watching
I would
it.
love to go back and rewatch In Living Color.
Yeah, see,
as an
something like that
adult,
would be
because quite
fun.
honestly, I mostly just like the laughter and bright colors. A lot of the jokes went over my head.
That's true.
I
You'd be
was just
like,
like,
hold
this
on.
is just a good time.
Oh my God.
Fire Marshal Bill.
He was funny.
That was amazing. I was thinking the other
Men
day
on
about
Fire.
how like I really enjoy Jamie Foxx's work, but one of my favorite things was Wanda the Ugly Girl.
So cross-dressing.
Well, we all know how terrible and damaging that is. But
We don't
yes,
see that. Mhm.
yes, cross-dressing.
Actually, it
drag.
affected my. Like, I am not even right to this day.
I'm not even gay. I'm super gay from watching that.
Between him and Shanae, I'm
Yeah.
out here in these streets right now.
Oh man, Martin.
A vibe, okay?
Thanks for
Those
the
were-
memories.
Those are old shows, guys. If you're young here,
Those I
Google
feel like
it.
they'd still hold up though. That's why I want to go back and revisit them because I still get a little chuckle from watching an old episode of Martin.
Listen, I've introduced my kids to that. Wait a minute. We've been watching the Bernie Mac show.
That
That
holds
show
up.
is so good. First of all, like rewatching it now as an adult and as a parent, it's so different.
He said the ethos of the show was children are terrorists and I don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yo.
And I'm like, yup.
Yo.
Yup.
And it's crazy too because I randomly mentioned crack to my kids about how terrible it was like for the Black community and how like there are certain drugs that you do that take over your life. Like, I mean, it's just science, it's biology. And they're like, one crack, Mom? I'm like, yes, just one crack will take you out.
One crumble.
One crumble of crack. And we were...
You should show them what baking soda does to substances.
Oh my gosh.
Baking soda is very reactive. It makes everything.
We've done science experiments with baking soda, so they've seen it. But I
so
don't
you've
know
already
that
taken not amazing, but an amazingly powerful drug like cocaine and mix it with baking soda
it's
and
like,
heat.
pa-pow.
And just to know, I never sold crack. I just know this from rap songs. But they lay it out
From
like
Miss
you
Pat and and rap songs.
They lay it out like it's like
make crack, make crack.
Well, and now too with the
like
fentanyl,
this.
like I feel bad for people who like experimenting with drugs because now like fentanyls and everything.
First
and
of all,
most people aren't chemists. So the kids who dropped out of school and became drug dealers, you're gonna put them in charge of your fentanyl?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're going to do that. But I mean, so back to the Bernie Mac show. Yes. So we were talking about the crack and stuff like that. But because basically his nieces and nephews, his sister ended up on crack. And he's taking care of the kids and stuff. And it's just, you guys, it's streaming on Hulu. If you have it, please rewatch it. Because that's
definitely worth a rewatch.
I have to talk about that. Because the Bernie Mac show was so good. He was hilarious.
And keep in mind, he did that in real life.
I know. Like
but I'm just letting the people know.
Yes,
if y'all don't know, in real life, he really took his sister's kids in.
Oh my God.
And hearing him talking about it on the Kings of Comedy was amazing.
My God. He was such
But
a
the fact
vibe.
that he did that too so they wouldn't be split up. And shout out to his wife too. Because that's a
hell of a woman right there, boy.
Wanda,
she listen.
Boy.
She was out here in these streets. Also, did you hear Boosie was talking about crack was healthier than fentanyl? He was kind of like going on a whole like thing about
think
how
someone did show me something
was
about
it
that.
To me?
It might have been.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
Money.
I am going to leave
So
the clip.
Boosie, he's given us so many nuggets over the years. Okay, so I have a very complicated relationship with Boosie
Let's talk about it.
and his entertainment. Okay, Boosie's been around for a long time, y'all.
Boosie badass.
How old is he?
He's in his 40s.
Okay, he's not even that old. I mean, I guess that's old, you know, relatively. I don't know his background and stuff. I don't like the stuff he says about gay people. I think that's really, really upsetting. But
He's 40.
He's
exactly.
40, exactly. So he's younger than me.
Yeah, he is.
I was trying to make excuses for him.
You can't.
Okay, I can't. I do not like his take on that, but it is about what I would expect from a black man in America his age. I would like for him to be more enlightened about that. He still has time in his life to come around about that. Also, not a lot of people have made a song better than Wipe Me Down.
Wipe me down.
'Cause, I mean, and then like, you're not gonna, if you're gonna come for Bootsy, you're gonna have to have better hits than that. And you're probably not. So,
I just want Boosie to know that, like, you don't have to comment on everything, Boosie. Like, I think that you're probably doing enough other things to make money to where if you're not...
Well, he's allowed to share his feelings on crack and fentanyl for sure. Just
he
like
was on
we're
Vlad
sharing
TV, I want to say.
Well,
Was it
and
Vlad?
then a lot of wild stuff gets said on there for sure. I'd love to have Bootsy on our show and just to.
Would you?
I would. I really would. Like if he wanted to come on, would you say no?
I mean, no, but
Okay.
I mean, it's not a goal though.
No. I mean, but
It's
it'd be
like,
fun.
let's get Boosie.
That'd be a
on
really
the show.
fun episode.
I don't know if he would. I mean,
We could probably do like a virtual one or something.
would he come here though?
Maybe. He's wildly unpredictable.
It's like we be talking about books and stuff though.
I mean, not always though. Not today.
That's true. You can just talk about your take on crack.
We've been tight. Yeah. We
You
could.
know.
Oh, cause speaking of crack, because I feel like
Speaking of crack,
what
really?
was it? HBO. New Jack City's on HBO this month. So, and that
Chris
was
Rock, iconic.
Chris Rock
Pookie.
and Wesley Snipes. Because what's
Smoking
wild
crack.
about that movie is it was supposed to be sort of Ice-T's sort of debut, because he's the main character.
Oh yeah.
People forget that. It was the least compelling storyline
It was.
in that whole movie, even though he and like his diverse team of undercover officers were supposed that was supposed to lead. But of course, it was way more
It was Nino
interesting
Brown.
following CMB.
Yeah.
Like that was way, and they shut down the Carter. It was, and I'm like, and he was dropping facts. He was like, I don't own a poppy field.
That's true. I don't.
And we talk about, oh, here's the other thing too. This has been an interesting week. Why did this end up happening? Oh, recording with you, we started singing Niggas Just Acting Bad at some point. I can't remember why, and it might have been for the Patreon stuff,
fun.
so I don't know. This might not make sense to
'Cause it's
everybody.
fun.
But then I was just like, I haven't listened to Game Related in so long. That album still really holds up.
Okay.
That is still
Took
like
a walk down memory lane. Huh?
yeah, Game Related, but it also reminded me of The World Went Crazy. I don't know if that's the name of the song by E40 when he was
I
like,
love E40.
oh, well,
don't
I
know
can
that
sing it
song.
for you. Like to hear it. Here it goes.
I actually would do it. You know,
I remember.
If you would like to hear my beautiful rendition of the hook from World Went Crazy from the Clicks 1995 Game Related, please go over to Patreon. Now back to our show.
That still held up. I mean, and I'm like, and that's what happened like around that time.
Wow.
And the thing is, because I'm old enough to remember it, and this is why I can't watch BMF, because they're kind of like building up the people who did this to the community. Like I get like when you've been economically oppressed and abused for so long, like you'll take any way out. But to enslave your brothers and sisters to gain financial freedom, I just hate it. I watched it happen. Like I grew up in a beautiful all black neighborhood. Like we're in Indiana, but it was very segregated. People always want to act like
Still
that's in the
is.
South. It was like that was up here too. But I loved my neighborhood growing up, and I saw it go downhill after crack hit. And it was like really fucked up to see like moms start neglecting their kids. Like, there's broken glass everywhere. Like that's the thing. It's like, and I wasn't allowed to go outside and play anymore because I used to be able to go outside and play. And then it was just like, it ain't safe. And then eventually, because you want to preserve yourself and your family, you move. And so I just hated all of that.
Well, Boosie said that crack is better than fentanyl, so we should just get back to
So
crack.
here's the thing. At least with crack, it left you live long enough that you could maybe get off of it, because we were talking about George Clinton earlier. He was on that shit and he got off. Like a lot of people were able to, not a lot, but some people were able to survive it.
I think that's the point. I think maybe he's not. It's hard to, because it's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because, I think he's speaking to the fact that, like, I mean, obviously there aren't just these two. It's not like, well, you have to smoke crack or you have to do fentanyl. Like
And that's
this
in
is
you.
a fake
You
dichotomy.
have to choose.
If you're, like obviously if you have to pick one, you're picking crack. Like both are terrible, but I do think he's saying like the survival rates for people and just like that, like you're saying, like that window of like coming around and maybe going to rehab and being able to get your life back, whereas like fentanyl is taking people out like once or twice, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's probably not the messenger for that, and I definitely understand what he was maybe trying to say.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Boosie Badass, just, I don't know. Like, I get it.
I would like to see him grow.
I would. And I think maybe you need like a team
Maybe.
who you respect and like that can kind of filter some of those messages for you.
Or
to
maybe
make it a
he's
little
fine
bit
with
more-
how he is. I don't know.
No, I think he's 100% fine with who he is. That's not even the thing. I'm just saying, like, if his point in sharing these points of view is to educate or to really like get a point across, like it's marketing is all. That's all I'm saying.
And
you might want to
he's
consider.
a very colorful communicator.
Very much so.
Yeah.
He's wildly entertaining. I got to give him that, but
He
also
is,
it's
and
like,
that's his job.
hush.
So he's good at his job, but with a lot of people, like I said, we were talking to the nature of expertise.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's
Like, maybe get
speaking
with some
on something that's
experts.
not his expertise. So we don't
No.
really necessarily need to listen to him when it comes to that, or when it comes to that, or
That darn Boosie
how we live our
badass.
lives. But if I
Bless
want to, kind of turn up and remember that I'm INDEPENDENT, you know what that means,
I just
man.
don't need Boosie to know that. Like, I already knew that. But
Did
thanks,
you,
Boosie.
though?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I promise you
Okay.
I did. I didn't need him
You
to tell me
didn't?
that.
Okay.
Nope.
Well.
But it was fun when we got to spell it in the club and everything like that. But
I do
again,
love
we need to
spelling.
leave it there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't usually take Bootsy.
I can't take you into my real life, Boosie. I just can't. Like,
into my
understand.
meditation corner.
Yo, I can't take you there. You feel me? I can't take you there, sir.
Yeah.
But also, you serve your purpose, I guess, and just hopefully, like, some growth is, because let's not get into all the other stuff with Boosie that's problematic. So,
Yeah.
enough about that man.
Yeah,
Peace
the
to that
Fab
man.
podcast does not fully endorse Bootsy. We
No,
just
we're just
like
talking
fun
about him.
music.
Yeah, we're just talking about him. Because, I mean, you're right. I like fun music. There's a lot of music that I listen to when we're hanging out or doing stuff that I wouldn't listen to just sitting around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's probably one of them people.
Oh yeah. I'm not getting turned by myself. That'd be weird.
No, we need friends for that.
Super weird.
Or we could just have you sing.
We could
Because that was great. Who
Wasn't
loved
that-
Kat's rendition of E40 right now?
The world went crazy. That
Hip, hip,
spoke to me.
hooray.
I was like, that is because let's just talk about it. Because one of the things
Okay.
that bothers me is when people try to say like hip hop is what's damaging people and like it's like the worst thing to happen to black people since slavery. And it's like,
Hip hop music?
yeah, because it's like it's misogynistic, it's violence, and it's like, I like how Tupac said, niggas been dying for years, so how can you blame us? Like, it's been an ongoing struggle. So a lot of times art is just a reflection of culture. So a lot of times hip hop is misogynistic, but it's because the culture is misogynistic. It's
Right.
reflecting what people know and experience. So I don't like that all of it gets labeled as bad. Because for one, it's black people doing it. So of course it's bad. But like, it's also been a very, very important part of keeping our storytelling alive, because a lot of our history, especially like with groups like Public Enemy and like with E42, to be like, hey, our community was ravaged. We didn't just do this to ourselves. It's very important. Look it up. Like Ronald Reagan, first George Bush, Oliver North, they conspired to get all these drugs from South America and use the proceeds to fund the Contras. And then all of those drugs ended up in black communities. They even said in The Godfather, we'll keep it amongst the niggers. They're animals anyway, so let them lose their souls. So this is... Right. This is, once again, like, you have to get the whole
terrible.
story, because it's very easy to present this idea that black people are just bad because we're suffering and it's because we're bad. And it's like, we are put in impossible situations, and it takes a nation of millions to hold us back,
Oh my God.
because we're still here
Yeah, we are. I mean, I
talking shit.
feel like that's really sad.
It is. It is.
Oh my God.
But it's also triumphant. Like, they couldn't stop the truth. I remember being very young when Can't Trust It came out by Public Enemy. And that's a fave. And I remember that video, and it was my first time like seeing a lot of those images going, and then showing that through line from the slave ships to the factory worker to the lack of sexual autonomy that black women have. Like, just seeing that was very powerful. And then of course hearing it in a pleasing way, kind of helps the medicine go down.
Yeah, it kind of does. Wow. Well, and I wouldn't. Wow. No, but for me, I feel like it's what I hate about that, or hate about the whole, like hip hop or rap music or whatever now, is that, or at any time, because I don't think this is necessarily specific to this time, but like, you have this pure thing where it's like, okay, we're telling our stories, we're sharing our stories that impact our lives, and because no one's listening, so we're creating this space. Like, that's why art can be powerful. But I hate when it gets watered down, and then like now it's just about the business part, right? So like now, because black people be popping and our art is just so powerful and it resonates, because it's so deeply personal a lot of the time, because it is sharing our stories of struggle, which is a human issue, right? Like, that's not just a black issue or anything like that. But what it ends up being, watered down, and then like now it's like it's a chug and plug formula, right? Like here's the algorithm, and
They're
now
taking it from us, watering it down, and then selling it back to us.
yeah, and
that's
and
irritating.
that's the shit I can't stand. You know what I
Yeah, that's
mean?
the
And
shit I
so
don't
we've
like.
talked about this a little bit before, where it's like, you know, I think the energy behind like how it started was really great, but I think now it's business.
Well, what
and
we
it's
see.
what we see anyway, right?
Yeah,
Which
what
we've
gets
talked
promoted.
about.
Yeah, what gets bumped up. Because
Yeah.
there's still a lot of really, really great art
Yes.
being made that
Yes.
isn't necessary. Because the powers that be don't want to promote the positivity.
That part.
They want to keep us worshiping capitalism and being like, oh, like if you get rich enough, you can escape blackness.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
And
You
to
can't.
me, that's what some people are complaining about. They're not complaining about, because you're saying like people be like, oh, because people are complaining about rap. It's like, no, some people are, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's easy to villainize, you know, those stories or whatever. But I think that like what some people are talking about is the fact that like the real stories they're not even in the forefront anymore. Like you're sort of straining out the actual like the powerful part, like the impactful part, and you're just reducing it down to this one thing where it's like, okay, we're popping pills, we're partying, it's coochie popping, it's pill popping, we out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all that our existence is, and it's like that's what gets promoted.
I'm trying
So
to think what song that was where Future just kept saying Adderall. And he just kept riding Adderall with Adderall. And I'm like, did he get a promotional consideration from Adderall?
No, he got a promo
down to
code.
that Adderall. I'm just down to that Adderall.
It's like,
I'm
use
down
your
to
promo
that Adderall. And I generally like Future's music, but like I remember thinking, I'm like, that felt really lazy.
he was on Adderall. No, Adderall, I thought it made you productive.
I thought so too, but he was just like, he was mumbling still.
And some of these folks they're not even doing the drugs they're promoting. Like, and that's the other part too, is like, you know, I understand from the standpoint of like how powerful storytelling is though. So like when you have this platform and we're so impactful, like I would venture to say that like Black Americans, especially in pop culture, are super influential over like not just in the United States, but across the world.
The
so
world.
like, yes, the world. And so like when you're putting forward these stories that are negative, which I'm not necessarily 100% putting on the artist, because, you know, it comes down to like, I need to put out what's going to sell because I'm trying to make a living doing this. So some of it comes from like the business side of what's being promoted, but I just feel like yes, there is some responsibility when you have a voice and a platform to put art out there that's not damaging to your community, because it is in the sort of like ethos. It is in the, you know, it's the meditation of our collective consciousness a lot of the time. Like when you're talking about what is this message. And so I don't solely lay that in the artist's lap, because I'm not saying that Black people can't create art that's fun, because that's the thing about being a Black artist, is there's so much pressure, because it's like, okay, you might be the first one, or you might be the only one, or you feel like it's your job as a Black person to represent every Black person, and it's like that's not really fair, because other artists get to just make art from wherever they are in life.
I don't think so. Whenever I see Billie Eilish do something, I'm like, all white girls are like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last time, think about that, when's the last time you've seen like art made from white people where you're like, oh, well, that's, you know, you're wrapping everybody up into that label, and it just doesn't happen. That's very specific to us. So it's a super unfair sort of umbrella that we get put under sometimes. So, I mean, I get the gravity of it. You know, I get how like, somebody could say like, yeah, that's, you know, we need to do better. We need to make sure we're highlighting stuff. But also too, I mean, it's a business. So what sells isn't positive stories about Black folks. So that's why it's our job to do that. I mean, it's a small voice, but like also this is why
It's not easy, but
it's not
we can
easy.
do it.
We can do it. And so shout out to Polly Onyx, aka Little Big Bro, for like highlighting some of the artists he did on the All Black episode. Cause you know, we've talked about this before. And, you know, he gave us some dope artists to kind of highlight. Because low-key, I'm a mama, and I don't be, you know, I'm not on it like I used to be, so I don't even know.
Quite honestly, that's why I was rapping stuff game-related. That's probably
We're
the last.
old.
I'm not sitting and listening to whole albums anymore.
Very rarely.
I just hear the
so-
hits. So that's why I always want to make the disclaimer, too, what gets promoted up the algorithm, because I don't necessarily get to hear the deep cuts.
Yeah, man. So, but no, shout out to my brother and my husband, too, because they both will put me on some really great artists. So I feel like my playlist be lit. I don't know about you, but I have some really great music that I get to listen to.
I do too.
From artists that I really like.
I still listen to Jodeci.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Jodeci song? This is fun.
Oh, it's so hard to narrow it
Come
down.
and
just
talk to
me.
me.
I mean, of course, that's a great
really
one.
want
Honestly, what I don't even have that downloaded. Cry for You.
Oh, baby, I will cry for you.
Help me out with this.
Oh man,
I don't. Yeah,
it's a lot of hollering.
It is. I really, really get into it. So
It's like,
yeah.
I want to see hood niggas hollering for my love, okay? That's what I want.
Baby, I'm begging,
Right,
baby,
and some
I'm
motherfucking
begging,
Timbs, okay?
have mercy. I love it so
fun.
much. Yeah,
Oh
my
my
and
God.
I still thank you E40. I should have dedicated this to
Man,
E40 because I was thinking of the remix that I got 5 on it. Which is like E40. Yeah, they did one with
Yeah.
Shock G and E40 and who
Oh,
else was on
yeah.
that? It was very good.
I don't know.
Anywho, but even that one I had to get a talking to from my dad about that because it was a lot of pimp culture.
It's like about pimps, honey.
How about pimps? They're not
terrible.
good people.
Yeah, it's like, I think at that age you're honestly, you're definitely taking it in from a different point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like, no, this is entertainment. Like, this is, and so it's a spectrum, right? Because as you move along that linear line, like now that we're at the point where we're people's parents, it's like, yeah, like I don't necessarily want
I
to.
don't know, she's singing, you can have 5 on the table, you can bend her over the table, but make sure you bring my stallion back to my stable. Say, bruh. Like, yeah, I shouldn't be singing that. Not at 13.
Right. And let me just say, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
Right, but it
okay?
is, though. It's still fun.
I need a break.
Oh, we can break on
I'm
that.
disgusted. Good day. We'll be right back. So welcome back, guys.
That's what we should call the episode, The White Man's Burden.
Wow.
Poor white man.
That's us.
Burdensome. It's fun. Noun, a duty formally asserted by white people to manage the affairs of non-white people whom they believe to be less than developed.
Who they believe. Who made you the boss
A
of
duty,
that?
and they're saying formally asserted. I'm like, I don't know if
Formally.
that's
Bitch.
quite accurate.
They
Accurate.
kind of feel like that, Survey says they still feel like that.
They are morally obliged to civilize the non-white
Morally.
peoples.
Morally obliged.
So they're really doing God's work by letting all you
Likely
pesky
story.
Negroes.
Husky?
Pesky.
Oh.
But the husky ones too.
I'm about to... We don't discriminate.
All of them.
All the
the
Negroes
skinny
need to get
ones,
line,
husky
okay?
ones, short ones, tall ones,
Itty bitty
light
bitty
ones,
ones.
dark ones. All of them.
It turns into a Dr. Seuss book after a while. It's like, okay.
Oh, maybe we should review a Dr. Seuss book one good time. When is Dr. Seuss Day? Is that November?
I don't know. Ain't he canceled or something?
No. He redeemed himself. Like, all of his work was in response to the earlier racist shit he did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he
good.
came up. Yeah, that's why it's important to get the whole story.
Yeah,
like
I
he
know
did
it.
the old racist shit, then he learned some shit, and he was like, I'm gonna make the
old
rest of my
racist
life
shit.
about
Did the
undoing all
new
that bad
shit.
shit I did.
We need to do a song.
Yeah. Maybe you should.
I did the racist shit.
And then it's like, yeah, he finally was like, you know
I'm
what?
doing the bit.
I'm gonna write about sneeches.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
he's not-
sneeches weren't like code for stupid black people or anything.
Well, it was code for the idea that we're somehow different because of physical differences. Yeah, that was one of my. I love the sneeches.
How did he learn that?
I wish I could ask him. It's kind of like JFK. You know, he was super racist. I mean, he was a rich white guy in America. So it wasn't until he started learning about. Actually, I like to think it was Marilyn Monroe because Marilyn Monroe was a civil rights advocate. Like she didn't like all that shit. She wouldn't perform at places where they made black people use the back entrance and stuff like that. Like her and Ella Fitzgerald were real tight.
Really?
Because I think they were both like orphans or something. Like they bonded over something, and she was like, man, I don't think it's cool what they're doing to you. There was a drunk history about it, and they really broke it down well. But you know, JFK and Marilyn were messing around. I think she got in his ear about it.
It's like I hate
And be like, you know what's not sexy? Racism.
Right. It's like, so what you want to do?
Yeah. So, but yeah, he changed his mind about it, and then they blew his head off. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wasn't shouldering the white man's burden anymore. So,
Are we really gonna name this episode that?
I think we should. I think it'll get some clicks.
A lot.
But of course, with consent.
Okay. I mean, listening back to this is gonna be fun.
Rudyard Kipling.
Who's that? The man.
This guy who wrote The White Man's Burden, the poem.
He's the one who knows all about it. Are you gonna read it?
He did. Do what?
Are you gonna read it? What's the poem?
Oh gosh, I guess.
Can you read right now?
Oh, I can totally read right now.
Do it.
White Man's Burden, poem
be
summary and analysis.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can
How
find
long
it.
is it?
I don't know. It's probably one of them long ones.
And
White Man's Burden. White Man's Burden.
Yeah, he can't lay his burdens down just yet.
Oh, I know. It's like I wonder if it'll just the actual poem. Just show me the poem. I don't have to buy a book. Go bind your sons to exile to serve your captives' need. To wait and okay, that's a clip. That says clip. Okay, here it goes. It's probably I don't know. We'll get in with, for instance, The White Man's Burden, 1899. Take up the white man's burden. Send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile to serve your captives' need. To wait on in heavy harness on fluttered folk and wild, your new caught sullen peoples, half devil and half child. Take up the white man's burden, impatience to abide, to veil the threat of terror and check the show of pride, by open speech and simple and 100 times made plain, to seek another's profit and work another's gain. Take up the white man's burden, the savage wars of peace. Fill full the mouth of famine and bid the sickness cease. When your goal is nearest, the end for others sought, watch sloth and heathen folly bring all your hopes to naught. Take up the white man's burden, no tawdry rule of kings, but toil of serf and sweepers, the tale of common things. The porch ye shall not enter, the roads ye shall not tread. Go make them with your living and mark them with your dead. Take up the white man's burden and reap his old reward. The blame of those ye better, the hate of those ye guard. The cry of host ye humor, slowly towards the light. Why brought ye us from bondage, our loved Egyptian night? Take up the white man's burden. Ye dare not stoop to less, nor call too loud on freedom to cloak your weariness. By all ye cry or whisper, by all ye leave or do, the silent subtle people shall weigh your gods and you. Take up the white man's burden, have done with childish days, the lightly proffered laurel, the easy ungrudged praise. Come now to search your manhood through all the thankless years, cold-edged with dear-bought wisdom, the judgment of your peers.
What does all of that mean?
There's a summary. It sounds like they were like, hey, stop being a baby and start working these hoes.
Start working these hoes?
That's what I got from it. I could be wrong.
What do y'all think?
Let's see what did Wikipedia have to say about it?
Wise enough or sober enough right now to understand.
So it was first published in London, 1899. Interpretation. Kipling positively represents the imperialism as the moral burden of the white race who are divinely destined to civilize the brutish non-white other whose inhibits the barbarous parts of the world. To wit, the 7th and 8th lines of the first stanza represent the Filipinos as new-caught sullen peoples, half devil and half child. Despite the chauvinistic nationalism that supported Western imperialism in the 19th century, public moral opposition to Kipling's racist misinterpretation of the colonial exploitation of labor in The White Man's Burden produced the satirical essay To the Person Sitting in Darkness by Mark Twain, which catalogs the Western military atrocities of revenge committed against the Chinese people for their anti-colonial Boxer Rebellion and against abusive Western businessmen and Christian missionaries. So, yeah, okay, I'm kind of interested in what Mark Twain had to say. He was an outspoken critic of American involvement in the Philippines and China.
Okay. So.
That makes sense. People try, and see, that's why they try to cancel Mark Twain. That's why you have to actually read the stuff, because they'll be like, he used the N-word. He's trying to remind people how brutal the South was. They would straight up call you nigger Jim.
Just like Ashy Larry.
I think Ashy Larry and nigger Jim. I mean, they both hurt.
They both hurt.
But there's something you can do about that ashiness.
Right.
It's called cocoa butter.
That's true.
You can't do nothing about.
N-word Jim. That's a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So
diabolical.
this was interesting. I would have. Yeah. So whenever people are just instantly, it's like that person used a no word, they're bad. No. A lot of times they might be trying to call attention to the fact that this was like a lot of times trying to like sanitize things protects the wrong people.
Ooh, and you know what I don't like? Speaking of that, yeah, it makes me think about like how there'll be shows on the on streaming services that they'll like erase some of the episodes that have like black
like 30 Rock,
Golden Girls,
Office.
all of that stuff. It's kind of like, I mean, that's not
White
helping
Christmas.
anything.
It's not. That's you solved racism. Thank you.
Yeah, that's not helping. I don't think that helps. So to your
That
point,
helps to
yeah,
wash your hands.
that's the sanitizing like that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really crazy.
This was one of the editorial cartoons from that period.
Ugh, they're holding them in a... Oh, wow, that's rude. I feel like you should walk up to the camera and show them. That is all the way effed up. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's
Yeah,
rude.
it's there's a very ugly history of racism in a lot of places where people wanted to colonize. But if you're a white ally,
I mean,
we love you.
Yeah, we love you. And then also,
because I've never had the choice of having to deny a huge privilege in life. You know what I mean? For people who make the decision to be like, you know what, pass. That takes character.
You're right. Because, I mean, I understand, like, not wanting to necessarily pass up your privilege or that it's like, why would I give up some shit that I got?
It's
like,
just
that's
pretty nice.
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
it's pretty
sorry
sweet
about
over
your
here.
life.
It's like if you tried not being black.
You're right. It's like, it's the best.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I definitely get how it's not intuitive.
Oh,
at the very least.
But that's the problem. A lot of people took this very seriously, the white man's burden. Like I said, I don't think it's in the past tense.
No, that's still probably something they're referencing at this point.
This is okay. So,
oh no,
not a fan of Idi Amin, but this is pretty hilarious.
No, wow, we're about to quote him.
Yeah. In 1974, President Idi Amin of Uganda sat atop a throne while forcing 4 white British businessmen to carry him through the streets of Kampala. As the businessmen groaned under the weight of Amin, he joked that he was the new white man's burden.
Oh, shit.
Once again, brutal dictator. Not a big fan, but that was pretty funny.
Oh, right, because I mean, even like they say wrong clocks are right twice a day.
Yeah, broken
So
clock
it's like that
twice
shit.
a day.
Mhm,
Yeah.
sure.
And he was a very large man.
And he was. So,
He's
they were
very
definitely oppressed. So that's funny. Wowzers.
Yeah, but he was messed up too because he was very anti-Asian.
Idi Amin was?
Yeah, he kicked out all the Asians out of Uganda.
Did he really?
And it hurt the economy. Like, you can't just kick out a population and there's just not going to be any consequences. Like, it's dumb. It's like, that's what I don't like is when people think they're like, oh, if I become the oppressor, I'll never be oppressed. Instead of just like, let's do away with oppression.
It's like let's figure out what we can do. I mean, they're here. Like, how can we do this to where it's not, I mean, I don't think it's an easy thing because, I don't know. Because I feel like it's like when people come to a new area and you have your own culture, people are resistant to it. So it's like, how do you get the people who are there to kind of accept it? And then how do you get the people who are coming in to participate? Because we were watching something.
I'll figure it out.
Thank you. Get back to everybody and let them know because they're waiting. You know what I'm saying? They're waiting to understand. But I did like how we were watching Love and Sex Around the World. And they were in Germany. And there were a lot of refugees from It was a Middle Eastern country.
It was. I know what you're talking about though.
And it was super
I remember the dude's
beautiful.
name was Klaus.
It was super beautiful because they had these like these evenings where they hosted this whole event where like these immigrants got to come and talk like an open mic basically and talk about their families, and these German citizens got to hear
like
their
the
stories
Moth.
and stuff. It was
like the Moth Story Hour.
And again the storytelling aspect of that and just kind of it humanizing people and
then they had music.
The arts, man, is disarming.
Yeah.
Like because it helps you understand. It helps you kind of bridge that gap. And so
Was she Syrian?
I think if you have more stuff, maybe it was Syria,
'Cause
something like that.
Because I know Germany took in a lot of Syrian refugees.
Yeah, don't get me the line, y'all. But
Yeah.
it was definitely in the documentary, definitely in Germany.
But it was super cute too. You know what I noticed was like a theme around the world for the women who were talking about like their husbands who were like really in love with them, like the old ones, the young ones, everything. Their husbands brought them tea.
Really?
I thought that was really sweet.
I love you. Here's some tea.
Yes. Like it's such a small thing, but yes, I think that is something that I will say that
you don't
none
like
of my ex-husbands got me tea.
Don't ever say none like there was like
It's a data set. None of them. But like for the women who are on there, because there was one couple, they've been together forever, and she's like, he brings me tea every morning. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And even like the young girl, because I feel like that was in India, but it was a lot of different places too, where it was just like, yeah, it brings me tea. And they're just talking about their relationship and stuff. And I'm like, that's so sweet.
It's pretty cute.
It is.
I like it.
I've only had there's not been a lot of men who've gotten me tea.
Okay. Well, maybe you should start demanding that then.
Maybe.
You know,
I think
bring
it's
me
better when they just do it though. When they're just like, you like tea, here's some tea.
So you're saying you think a guy should just expect some shit you like?
No, they should learn what you like and from you, and then yeah, I don't want to demand it. Like just be like, because from the people who've gotten me tea, I wasn't like, I demand you get me tea. They're just
Not
like
a demand. I just feel like you might want to, right? Like
just
they'd have to know. Is
they
what I'm
just
saying.
know I like
Don't expect them to know
tea.
without saying it though.
Yeah.
Like you can say like I like tea so
I
that
like
they
tea.
know.
I'm
That's
like,
all.
I'm really into tea.
Because men aren't gonna necessarily just show up with the shit you like if you don't say shit.
Of
That's
course
all
not.
saying.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
just silently like stew
It's
until
like
he
sit
gets you
there and
tea.
wait until he brings you tea. He doesn't. He's fired.
Yeah, I just been like, you know what? This is something that lets me know you really care about me.
Absolutely. That's always the best case scenario.
Well, I definitely learned something today. I'd never read The White Man's Burden before, so
That is
counts.
wild.
Yeah.
That was.
I've always heard it referenced, but never read it.
Yeah. So this was a fake ass episode. This was fun though, man.
It
I had
was.
a great
I just think I learned a
time.
lot.
Yeah, man. It was. We had a lot.
I rapped.
Man, 100%. You did. That was my favorite. That was great. So we don't have anything to rate, you guys. So I guess we're going to.
We could rate that poem.
I can't. Okay, I'm gonna let you rate it because I
I'm
don't know what to
gonna
say about it. I'm
give
still
it.
taking it all in.
I'm gonna give it like 5 thumbs down. I didn't like it. As I'm gonna give that like yeah.
Okay, it stands. She gives it 5.
So
thumbs
there's some media I don't like.
down. Thank you. There's the contrast I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay.
Terrible.
Oh my God. Okay, so you guys, we are gonna go ahead and spin the wheel real quick, guys. So spin it. Okay, excellent. You guys, it's pretty exciting. So we have a review of 2 Mile Hollow at the Phoenix Theater and Cultural Center. I'm super excited to talk about this play. It is a production from playwright Leah Nananko Winkler, and she's from New York City. And this play is going to be hopefully really dope. We actually get to do the opening night on March the 31st, which will be really fun. And we're going to do like a panel discussion after it with Ebony Chappelle, journalist and community activist. We're going to be featuring some of the actors, but you guys should definitely come back next week. But we get to see a live show and then talk about it. So I'm geeked. This is going to be so much fun.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's going to be so much fun. So you guys, come back and join us next week. We're going to be back here again with more shenanigans. So have a great rest of the week, you guys, and see you later.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again. And until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.